Nintendo has released its latest earnings report, and before you click away, it's actually quite interesting. Nintendo's earnings are in a very strong position, and company president Shuntaro Furukawa stated in earnings that the Switch will be Nintendo's main business focus moving into 2024, but conspicuously doesn't mention much about the latter half of the year, and I'm pretty sure we all know why. That being said, I'm not here to talk about the Switch successor. There are about 4 million other videos on YouTube that can do that. Instead, I want to take a look at how your favorite franchises on the Nintendo Switch stacked up in sales, how the hardware is performing, and what the data shows for the future of Nintendo gamers. As always, I want to hear your input, so let me know your thoughts. And if I can make a shameless plug, don't forget to like and subscribe, as it helps me out tremendously. I also want to extend a special thank you to Archie Blund, who helped me make sense of this data. This article couldn't have been done without you, mate. Starting off with hardware, the Switch currently boasts an incredible 122 million active players, and despite the Switch being in its 7th year of being on the shelf, the sell-through rate has remained steady and more annual users are playing than ever before. Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa made no mention of plans to replace the aging hardware, and in a briefing to investors he stated that he wants to maintain the momentum of the Switch business. It makes sense, and it also provides a very unique challenge of replacing this incredibly popular machine. I'll cover more of that in the prediction section of the video, but indications show a 34.9% dip in hardware sales compared to last year, which definitely shows us that the Switch market is starting to show signs of exhaustion as we reach the end of its cycle. On to software. In the interest of not dragging this out too much, I'm going to focus on the 17 biggest first-party Switch titles. There were a total of 24 titles to make the Million Club, and of those 17 were first-party titles from Nintendo. It should be noted that all these figures are lifetime sales for their global release, and I've put them in order from smallest to largest. There's actually a lot of surprises here, so let's see how your favorite title stacks up. Super Mario RPG, which recently came out, sold a whopping 3,140,000 copies. Now, that may seem like a small number, but it's actually a really promising sales target that indicates gamers want to see more games like Mario RPG. Pikmin 4, 3,330,000 units. Now, Pikmin 4 was one of the highest critically acclaimed titles on the Switch released in 2023, and it's also the best-selling Pikmin title to date. Splatoon 3, 11,710,000 copies. Splatoon 3 is still making an impact on Switch thanks to its constant updates. The continuous Splatfests are keeping players engaged. Mario Wonder, 11,960,000. This is a huge number considering the game was released less than 6 months ago. It's a perfect example of relaxed game development and deadlines, leading to better game design. Mario Party Superstars, 12,310,000 copies. Mario Party features twice on this list, and it's always a fan favorite since the Nintendo 64 days. Nintendo Switch Sports, 12,480,000. Wii Sports, while included with the Wii hardware, was always a fan favorite, so there's no surprises here. Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, 13,170,000 units. This is a great collection, and it's second only to Mario 3D All-Stars, which according to IGN netted almost 10 million in sales during its limited run. Luigi's Mansion, 13,980,000. This is a fantastic game, and hopefully bolstered by the Dark Moon remake that Nintendo has seemed to have gone eerily quiet on for the moment. New Mario U Deluxe, 17,200,000. It's another solid 2D Mario title, so there's no surprises there. Tears of the Kingdom, 20,280,000 copies. It's a solid follow-up to Breath of the Wild that hasn't quite hit the heights its predecessor did, but this is only because it came out so late in the console cycle. If we had a bit more time, we'd see those sales numbers skyrocket even further. Super Mario Party, the original Switch release, 20,000,000 340,000 units. It's always a fan favorite, and this was the earlier Mario Party game to grace the Switch. It was really fun, but it did have limited boards. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, 24,360,000. I can't say I've actually heard anything good about these titles, yet it still boasts skyrocketing sales figures. I think it's time I better grab a copy and give it a go. Mario Odyssey, 27,650,000 copies. It's easily one of the best Mario titles around. It came out right at the start of the Switch's life cycle, so there's no surprises here. Breath of the Wild, 31,170,000 copies. Breath of the Wild did the impossible by trumping Ocarina of Time once and for all. These sales figures are indicative of that legacy. Smash Brothers, 33,670,000. It's a very popular party game, so it's no surprise to see it in the third position for best lifetime sales on Switch. Animal Crossing, 44,790,000 units. I have a huge feature article coming out about this. Previous entries sat around the 11 million mark. Nintendo caught lightning in a bottle here with its outstanding gameplay and just the surreal timing of the global pandemic. And finally, we have Mario Kart at 60,580,000 units. No surprise here, but these figures also show that nearly half the Switch gaming population owns this game. So now we've seen all those in the Million Club, who missed out? Advance Wars 1 and 2 failed to break the 1 million in sales mark, and unfortunately it most likely fell very short of Nintendo's projections. The game was continuously delayed for about 2 years due to the ongoing conflict overseas, and whilst I completely understand the move to delay the title, I think it really hurt its sales considering Tears of the Kingdom dropped a month later. I do hope Nintendo revisits this franchise, but I feel like that may be a while off now. It's also interesting to note how well Bowser's Fury did. I'm still baffled by Nintendo's decision to limit copies of 3D All-Stars in circulation, but I can confidently say if they didn't, we would see Mario All-Stars much higher than Bowser's Fury on this list. First-party releases also failing to make the list, and this is also just because of how late they released in the year, would be WarioWare, Move It, Detective Pikachu Returns, and Everybody 1-2 Switch. Now, onto my prediction of what this all means. I'm not going to speculate on the Switch 2 hardware, but I do want to share some predictions that make sense due to this data. So Nintendo's unique challenge now is how do we move these 122 million users across to new hardware, something they came undone with when trying to move people from the Wii to the Wii U, which we all know how well that went. Nintendo have previously stated that they want to adopt a similar approach to Xbox accounts, where moving to new hardware doesn't mean starting all over again. And I certainly think that backwards compatibility will make a much smoother transition. I happily upgraded my Series X knowing that the entire catalogue was there waiting for me to tide me over until the exclusive releases came out. There's a solid lineup of third-party support until July at the moment, which I think it's highly likely that we can expect a Nintendo Direct this month, which may be the last Switch-specific one. We'll most likely see Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered, but I feel like Metroid Prime 4 will hold out until the new hardware. A few remakes, it'll also have a few remakes like we already have, and a bigger focus on digital ports as it contributed to almost 50% of software sales. We'll most likely see a new hardware launch around November or before April next year, but that's all just speculation at this point. Whatever the future holds, it's certainly going to be an exciting one for us Nintendo gamers. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Because of amazing people like you, What's It Like is now my full-time job. I also do want to do a special shout out to my Patreons, S Hill, K Skip, and D Kite. I couldn't have done it without your support. Thank you.